I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of a dinosaur before. But do you know all of their names? Like I do? Well, if you're like me and a dinosaur nerd, like my friends call me, and you've liked dinosaurs since you were yay big, then you're probably going to understand this video. If not, I'm just going to give you a little bit of what dinosaurs are really. Anyways, we're going to be recreating a video from like 6 years ago of me talking about dinosaurs, and I was like 4 years old. But before we do that, I'm going to get to show you all of these dinosaurs. Let's get to it. Guys, try to find my little buddy Toothless in the video. Make sure to like it if you find it. Alright, we're going to be opening some of these dinosaurs, but first I'm going to show you my all-time favorite. Alright, Blue is my favorite dinosaur. He won't stand up for some reason, so... This is a lot of dinosaurs. I'm going to show you my top 10 favorites. Where is it? Alright. One of the reasons the baryonyx is so unique and cool is because of the way they're built. It's like a T-Rex and a Velociraptor built together with a Spinosaurus snout. But look at his snout with this. That is weird. This thing runs. And that's really cool about it. Also, these baryonyx were very fast. They can just hit you. What happens when I punch this paw? Shut up! Hey, it worked. And at number 9, it's Ankylosaurus. For one, the reason I like it is because it really reminds me of my pet turtle that I have. See the resemblance? Turtle, the Ankylosaurus has a clubbed tail that if you got anywhere near it, it would just whack you in the head with it. Also, it is extremely hard for predators to get to it because of its hard, bony-like shell. And even if they do get to it, they gotta watch out for that tail. It's covered in plates. Monolophosaurus. This Monolophosaurus is one of my favorites, mostly because of the way they sniff out their prey. They have the weirdest nose. And if you think really, they're most resemblant to a modern day Velociraptor. Well, not modern day, but like an actual Velociraptor. Unlike that, it had a long neck and a long pointy head. It had spikes had shorter arms, and speed wasn't really its thing like the velociraptors were. But he was more resemblant to a troodon with tracking his prey and stuff. 7, the Triceratops. I don't know what you're all thinking. Why isn't that higher on the list? Like, that's the main dinosaur. Listen, I have my opinions about things and you have your opinions about things. So, unlike my brother, he loves the Triceratops. I don't know why. But he really is like a rhino, but more bigger and has a frill and 3 horns instead of 2 or 1. Also, it charges like a rhino. Pteranodon. This is one of my favorites at number 6 because of the way it flew through the air. And it would always dive down and you'd get fish or smaller dinosaurs. And its wingspan was up to be about maybe 5 to 6 feet long. It has a pointy curved bill. If you get jabbed by that, you're getting jabbed hard, I'm just saying. It had a short little tail, I'm not actually sure why. But really, its only predators was like a T-Rex or bigger dinosaurs that could get to it. And it has nice claws for grabbing its prey. Number 5, we have the Dracorex. The reason I like the Dracorex is because, well, he often is like the Stygimoloch, but you get ran by this, instead of getting ribs cracked or something, that's gonna jab into you hard. It often compete with like Stygimolochs and stuff, and it had lots of spikes and stuff. The skulls, so cool, and it had a beak as a mouth though. 4, I have a tie. The Carnotaurs and the Parasaurolophus. Mostly because the Carnotaurs were very good hunters and often resembled to the T-Rex because of their bigness and size and their tiny little arms and their big feet. But their heads are completely different. Where Carnotaurs have more of a scavenging head, T-Rex have more of a biting head. And another thing, the Parasaurolophus were one of the main prey of Carnotaurs, but often Parasaurolophus could not defend themselves and they had to be with herds. So, the Parasaurolophus is super cool because it has the crest. I mean, the crest, man, the crest. And it could stand on 2 legs and run, or 4. And that's what made it cool. King of the Dinosaurs! Alright, that's what it was. Anyways, at number 3, we have the T-Rex, mostly because I like the T-Rex, and he's a T-Rex, and that explains a lot of it because he's a T-Rex. He's also the king of dinos, which is a T-Rex, and that's kind of what's cool about the T-Rex, because he's a T-Rex. Also, he has a big chomping grip like a T-Rex, and that's what's cool about him, like a T-Rex. He's got big feet like a T-Rex, and he's got a long tail like a T-Rex. He's got like a long snout like a T-Rex, and he's got short arms like a T-Rex. He's also got a big body like a T-Rex. He's got a short little neck like a T-Rex. And that's a little bit cool. That's what's cool about a T-Rex. Also, his teeth were like the size of a banana like a T-Rex, and that's what's cool about the T-Rex because he has sight like a T-Rex, and that's just what's cool about the T-Rex. The Brachiosaurus at number 2. I've got to be honest, this was a close race with number 1. I've loved Brachiosaurus since I was like this big. Yeah. Anyways, they're one of the biggest known dinosaurs ever. Little size comparison to the T-Rex, how big they were. You could crush a T-Rex. They didn't have have much predators, really, other than a pack of T-Rex, which they didn't really hang around. They were the only thing that could really take down a Brachiosaurus because of its massive size. Its long neck helps it see danger from far away, and it eats giant trees with his little mouth. He also has amazing feet that it can stomp on anything. And even if a gang of raptors try to get it, it jumps up on its two back feet like this, and it will crush them. Brachiosaurus. Now that we've done raptors, let's get to number 1, Velociraptors. The reason I like the Velociraptors is, well, they're passive, and whenever they get up to their prey, they surround it from all sides. This. And then whenever their prey least expects it, they jump. I get, what happens next. But that's one of the cool things about the Velociraptors. Also, another thing is their very good speed. They can run up to like 5 miles per hour, up to like 16 miles per hour, up to like something miles per hour. They have not the greatest bite force, but that's what's cool. They don't need a big bite force. This shows that size does not mean anything. Even though they have very good speed, their claws helped them a ton. They would not be able to do as much stuff with their claws. Also, another thing, look at that toe claw. They'd come up and they would scratch you with their toe claw. And that's what's cool about the Velociraptors. Time to recreate something from 6 years ago.
Which one are you going to start with?
This one.
Okay.
That's a T-Rex.
Okay.
And T-Rexes eat meat.
Okay. What else?
That raptor in it eats meat too. That's a Triceratops and it eats grass. And it has horns. That's a Nodosaurus.
A what?
A Nodosaurus.
Okay.
And it has spines all over it. That's a pterodactyl. And it eats fish. That's a Spinosaurus. And it eats grass. And it has spines on it.
Oh.
That's a Parasaurolophus.
What is...
That's a Parasaurolophus. It eats grass. And it has a crest.
Awesome. Is that all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Wait, I gotta tell you something about the raptor. It has a long tail.
Does it?
And the pterodactyl has a short tail and wings. And teeth on its beak.
Can you tell me what that one's name is again?
A Parasaurolophus. 6 years later, I'm back, and there's a few things that I messed up on. So, first of all, what I did here is, instead of calling this an Ankylosaurus, I called it a Nodosaurus. Turns out, like a few years later, I figure out there actually is a dinosaur called a Nodosaurus, and it looks very similar to this. I called this one a Spinosaurus because of the spine, and, well, really a Spinosaurus is like 10 times bigger than this. But this one, and also I said it eats grass, but it eats meat. And it's called a Dimetrodon. And the T-Rex is a little bit torn up since the last time. He's been well played with. But the T-Rex this is one of my favorite T-Rexes ever. It's the king of the dinosaurs, one of the biggest of them all, and it has the tiny, tiny little arms, and the big feet, and the long, pointy teeth. The pterodactyl. Well, I called this a pterodactyl, and yeah, well, it's a pterodactyl, but instead of teeth, I said its teeth was its beak, and it didn't have teeth in its beak. Turns out, really, its teeth really are its beak. Look. So that's pretty cool about that. And the Velociraptor, it's a little bit different since the last time you saw it. It's one of the newer ones. It's not as good as the old one, obviously. I really like the old one better. I'm just going to be honest, I really did. But, size comparison, they're about the same. A little more detailed than the last one, but I still like the last one better. The Triceratops is different. This one is probably still as old as that one. I really like this one, mostly because you can make it charge and make his head go like he was a rhino charging. But the thing about the Triceratops is it has a big frill with 3 spikes on its face, although this one has 5. Not really sure why. And it has horns. A lot of times they had horns on their frills like this. Their bodies were a little bit bigger than this one, like the last one was. And that's something about the Triceratops. Now, on to one of my favorite dinosaurs ever, the Parasaurolophus. This one has been one of my favorites forever, really. It's really cool, mostly. This one's a little dirty and stuff, but it has a long thing, and it can go because it's hollow in here. Whenever it makes noise with its nose, actually, it travels up through here and makes noise. And also, it can stand on 4 feet and 2 at the same time. And his tail really didn't do much. His tail was just along for the ride. If you like my YouTube channel, make sure to like and subscribe. And go to our other channels, make sure to go check out Buckeye Sportsman, Colton Sportsman, and Gavin Sportsman after you watch this. And if you like dinosaurs, just